Hi everyone, it's Marianne here tonight. Happy that you're joining me. We'll get started in just a few minutes. I just wanted to get everything set up and squared away to make sure that we were all set. Hi Nita, how are you? Hello everyone. We're just going to get started in a couple seconds. Well, maybe a couple minutes. I just wanted to start a little early, get you guys settled, get myself settled, and then I will introduce to you all the really cool things that are happening to kick off this summer. Hi everyone. It's good to see you guys here. Tonight's going to be a great night. You're going to be very excited about all of the different things that we are kicking this summer off with. Having a day off is wonderful. We're just going to take a couple more seconds. Where are you guys checking in from? I'm from Massachusetts right today. Wendy and the warehouse is in Arizona. Does anybody else? Where else are you guys from? Chicago. I've never been to Chicago. Well, that's a lie. I've been to Chicago through your airport. That's it. Just your airport. Never ever been to Indiana or Utah. Hi, Deborah from New Hampshire. I'm probably super close to you. I do all my shopping in Salem, New Hampshire. Oh, can you see a peek of the toucan? Oh, you're not allowed to see that yet. I should have had that turned over. Never been to Wisconsin. It is a new set, Kathy. You're just going to have to hang tight and I'll tell you exactly where you can go to find that because I don't have it myself and I need it. And I think it's probably mostly because of that toucan. You'll be excited about the other shapes too, though. Southern Illinois. Oh, Northern New Hampshire. Okay, no. I'm connected to the southern part of New Hampshire. Ooh, I love South Carolina. Go Clemson. I've never been to Wisconsin, but I love Wisconsin cheese. I love all cheese. So do my dogs. Hi from Oregon. Is it Oregon? Oregon? As a kid, I used to say Oregon. That's how I was raised to say it. I have since changed my mind and have said Oregon. Oregon. Oregon? I'm really not sure how to say it. I just won't say it. Ohio. Oh, I've got such great things to share tonight with you tonight. So I'm going to start. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Queen and Company. In recognition of Memorial Day, we're going to kick off the first weekend in summer with some really cool new products, some gifts with purchases. So you guys will want to stick around for this. I have several new things to share with you tonight and a couple cards towards the end we'll put together. We'll put together. How about that? Okay, so one of the biggest things that, well, not the biggest thing. However, if you were to purchase $50 with us this evening, you will be able to select one of these two 6x6 paper pads. It comes with 24 papers and they're double-sided. And let me tell you, this Feathered Friends one is releasing tonight, and you're going to want to get your hands on that one if you get the kit or not. you're going to want the kit, but this paper pad is absolutely stunning. And this Petite Patterns is it's like a classic. It goes with everything. It should be part of your repertoire, your paper repertoire. That's a big word. Anyway, so if you purchase $50, you can choose one of these two paper pads. Now, if these paper pads happen to sell out during our sale that ends on 5/27, it will be restocked with different paper pads. So don't worry. We will change that, and we will get something new up there for you. Now, this is exciting. This is very exciting. Now, this is a free gift with a $100 purchase. You will get our new Summer Lovin' card class. You will make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards with this kit. Everything is pre-cut for you. Well, not the pattern papers, but everything is absolutely beautiful. It's a really fun kit. You'll want this if you don't have it already. And if you purchase $100, put this in your cart, you will get this for no charge. Now, that $100 has to be before taxes and before shipping and all of that. So you don't reach $100 until it's $100 worth of product. Now, remember too, if you are one of our royalty members, you earn credits for this. If you cannot use any of your credits, or what we call crowns, when you use any of these free gifts. It voids out that opportunity because we can only allow one code per order to be entered, and when you choose a free gift, you choose a code. So remember that. So I'm going to move these out of the way, kind of set these up here just so you can have a little look at them. What I'm introducing to you tonight are 3 different things. The first thing that I would like to introduce to you is our Fancy Birds Shaped Shaker. Now, these are examples from Linda Plovier and Greta Hammond. They have been spending their last few days really getting some beautiful cards made up with this. I did not have the luxury of working with this kit yet, but I cannot wait to get my hands on it. And my son and I sat here before this live started, and we tried to decide which ones we liked the best. And he likes the toucan the best. And I can't pick between this parrot and what is this? Oh my goodness, peacock. I just love all these details in this peacock tail. Isn't that adorable? Anyway, look at this graceful swan. It is so beautiful. So in our Shape Shaker kits, it's not a specialty kit. There's a difference between the two. Shape Shaker kits are a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact, and a little bit better price point for you. You do get all of the dies, but you do not get any paper. You would have to supply your own paper. You get the foam and the acetate for all of the shakers as well. And you get a smaller stamp set with a few sentiments. You don't get a full 4x6. You get a 3x4 stamp set. Specialty kits, like the other kit I'll be announcing tonight, that has even more added to it. And I'll tell you about that. So in the Fancy Birds Shape Shaker, you'll get 24 dies. You will get 12 foam pieces and acetates that match, and a 3x4 stamp. So there are 4 different birds in this set, and I wonder what you think is your favorite one. Now remember, you can change the colors of these, so think about the shape. You could go by color too, because that parrot is super cute. How cute is that? Anyway, this is available tonight. If you want to head to the website, you can get your hands on this little guy. Again, it's a smaller kit because it has less product with it. It does not come with paper, smaller stamp set. Okay, the other thing that I want to introduce to you tonight is our new Hello Friend. It is a title die. It's like a stack sentiment. You've got the hello on the top, and in a minute I'll show you an example of this so it's not backwards, and then you have friends at the bottom. So you've got a scripty hello and more of a printed type of friends. If I showed you this way, you wouldn't be able to figure it out. So anyway, this is available tonight as well. It is a large sentiment, and I made an example for you to see this. excuse me, all I did was put tape runner down on a piece of white paper, and then I put little strips going across it at an angle of all the colors of the rainbow, except purple, and created this card kit, or this card, for you to be able to see how you can use that die. Now whoa, excuse me, behind Friends, I did add some foam tape, but I love foam tape. If you've followed me at all or watched any of my videos, I can't not use foam tape. So there's foam tape behind Friend, but I let the hello just float there. There's nothing behind that. So it gives a little bit of a shadow on the white, if you can see that, but I absolutely love it. And then I added just some of the Tiny Trios, one of our newest embellishments. They're like an epoxy dot in 3 different flavors, if you will. You can get the sparkly, you get matte, and you get just a regular epoxy with no sparkles in it. So isn't that adorable? So this is available this evening as well. So that's number 2. So we've got the Fancy Birds Shape Shaker, and we also have the Hello Friend title die. I'll set this off to the side. But what I'm more excited about is, because I was able to play with it, is our new Feathered Friends kit. So this guy is packed. You get 31 dies. You get a stamp pad 4x6. Now I'll tell you, we did have a spelling error caught by one of our wonderful customers. So we have removed the stamp that had the spelling error. We have discounted the price of this kit a little bit to reflect that. You will not be receiving the spelling error. So now you guys, I have been into this kit, so my kit is torn apart, but you guys will receive 4 of each style shaker for each style shaker. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. You'll get the acetates as well. So you'll get 4 of the bird bath, 4 of the nest, and 4 of the bird feeder. I don't have that many left. So you will also receive a 6x6 paper pad. All my papers are cut up and messy, so I thought I would just show you the front of the paper pad itself. And this is the paper pad that you can also get free tonight with a $50 gift, or with a $50 purchase. So if you like the extra paper, you might want to grab yourself one of these. Isn't that pretty? Actually, I do have a solid sheet of this one. Look how beautiful that paper is. Look at those colors. I don't think it's a color combo that we've seen before. So it's very exciting to get a very petite flower pattern. I love petites. So anyway, and this is how I've been keeping my paper. Look at all my broken up paper. I mean, half of them, they're all half cut. I can't throw any of it away because, oh my gosh, that's my dog snoring. I'm not sure if you can hear him. I apologize. He's a little Frenchie. The other one's outside. I should have put him outside too. Sorry about that. So you get the paper pad, the 6x6 paper pad, along with a solid paper pad that matches it. You get the stamp set, the foam, the acetate that goes with it, and you also get something new that we've started probably about a year or so ago. It's called the Die Guide, and this one is for the Feathered Friends. It tells you what pieces that you need to put these different shapes together. Isn't that great? It's very detailed, but Ginger makes this up as she's designing the kits, and it's really, really helpful. So you'll get this as well. So that's very, very helpful. You'll love it. Let me put some of this back, and then we're going to talk about creating some cards, and I'm going to show you some samples of cards. Like I said, I was privy to this kit quite a while before it was released. We get a sample in, and some of us are able to work with it before we actually get all of the product in to be able to sell to the customers. So I've had this, and I have loved it ever since I opened it. So I've been able to create quite a few cards. And this first card I'm going to show you took me quite some time. If you can see the bottom here, it is so whimsical and sorry, I was trying to fix a piece on it. It's so whimsical. Look at the detail on all of those little flowers and along the fence. I just couldn't stop. I added so many. I love these little, what are they, bluebells maybe? I love the yellow flowers, the daisies. I made mine into a black-eyed Susan. Look how cute those are. And then I have 3 different houses. And of course, I have foam tape. Isn't that beautiful? And it's not beautiful because of the design, just the details. What you get in this kit are pretty amazing. You do get 3 different shapes of birdhouses. Let me bring this back out, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more. You get, like I said, the 3 different birdhouses. So you get all 3 of these, and you also get 1, 2, 3, 4 different birds. The shaker parts in this kit are the bird bath, the nest, and this right here. This gets put together in the shape of a bird feeder. You see that? Let me show you. Let me show you a card. So here is a bird feeder. And I added the hummingbirds to match this one. And I did a shaker, and I tried to use some of the new toppings that have been released in the last 6 months or so. Just a cute little missing you sentiment on the bottom, but isn't that adorable? Like for a friend, a pair of hummingbirds. I just think it's sweet. So this is our 3rd shaker. So bird bath, nest, and the bird feeder. Here's a image or a card of the nest that I created. And I did use the green leaf that goes across here, or the branch that goes across. I love it, but I just flipped it 2 ways. Now this one, bottom one is upside down, but you can't tell. I used a solid color brown, so it's not very visible at all. Isn't that cute? I love it. And I did a boy, girl, or girl, boy, and I filled the nest with baby blue and baby pink pops. I love it. And of course I added bling to each leaf so that they would have a little bit of detail on there. Isn't that cute too? So we've got the bird feeder, the nest, and the last one I have not made into a shaker yet, but we're going to do that tonight together. This is my favorite card that I made out of this set. It's not a shaker, but it is 1,000 hummingbirds, and it took me forever. I just absolutely love it. I, of course, had to do a rainbow, and I just had so much fun putting them together. It does take some time, but it's worth it to me. The results are worth it. Look how cute those are. Look at that. I love it. And then just one colored bling to match each color bird. So this would be the 3rd shaker that I did not make into a shaker. But then you also have the fence that's gorgeous. You've got grass, as you can see right here. Here is how I use this fence for a sympathy card. Hi, Lori. I just looked over and see you there. So this I did very delicately with a cardinal. We all have most of us have probably heard that if a cardinal comes to visit you, it means someone from your past that's a deceased is coming back to visit. Well, and of course the boy cardinals are prettier than the girl cardinals, but that happens in most of the birds, I guess. But I doubled up my fence. You can see a little seam right here, but I don't think the normal eye would see that. And then I just kept it dainty and simple. I loved the swishing of the background from our backdrop dies. That gives a little bit of detail, like maybe wind. And I kept the color soft, and the thing that pops is the cardinal. And so that's another one of the birds. And then, of course, I wanted to show you the fence. I've created another card with the bird feeder as well. And I created this one when I first received the kit. Bold, beautiful, colorful. I love the pops inside. I try to coordinate with the color of the paper and the birds. And then yesterday I created another card, and I created nearly the same thing. It's so similar. It's just got less detail. I don't have as much paper layered in the background by using our foundation dies. but they're completely two different cards, but they're the exact same thing at the same time. I love it. And you can get two different looks. So I did like a blue jay here and a hummingbird here. Aren't those cute? Why reinvent the wheel sometimes, right? And I also created this card. I have robins all through my backyard. They're making nests. They're making a mess. We actually have one on our front door right now, making a nest, but no baby eggs in there yet. But this is really pretty as well. This is not a shaker. I just used a house and a couple of birds. We do not have a color for the belly of this shaped bird here. I think it's this one right here. So I just cut a piece of yellow. I cut another bird in yellow, and then I just trimmed out the belly and placed it on so he would match my other bird right over here. So you can do whatever you want. Change it up, be creative, however you feel. So these are all the samples that I have made for you using this kit. And I would love to create a couple of cards with you if you've got a few minutes to stick around. Let me move these out of the way. There's just such beautiful things. I don't want to put anything far away. This one's my favorite. I can't help it. And I also want to keep this one out because we're going to do a play on both of these cards. All right, let's see. I probably should move them completely out of the way. From top to bottom, we are going to make a card based off of this one. So what I am going to do is get started with my card base. I want to show you my, maybe not my thought process, but maybe a little bit, because I did think this out beforehand. But I want to show you how I go about making everything. So I cut my card bases, like a bunch of them all at once. And then I'll flip it over, and I will use a bone folder to make sure that it's done correctly and in the right spot. I don't want to use my fingernail because it can make divots into the paper. So I have my card base ready. And if you know me, again, here's my foam. This is what I have left of my big thing of foam tape. I really probably should get another one pretty soon because this one will be out in no time. Oh, this reminds me. Did you guys see that the refrigerator caddy or fridge caddy is now available for purchase? Look how big that is. On the inside, you receive, oh, such cute things. You get these little sticky notes, and I'm using one right over here for my acetate so I don't lose, oops, it's got a piece of paper stuck to it too. So I don't lose my acetate, and I'll always be able to find it, so I stick that on there. It's also got a stapler and little staple refills for when you run out. Isn't that adorable? And of course it's pink. Isn't that adorable? In a little case. I could do so much with that case. Anyway, I don't recommend that you put real food in here. You can if you want to, but it won't keep cool. But anyway, I wanted to make sure you knew that those are for sale now. They're available on our website, so go get yours. So here's the piece of pattern paper that I chose for the front of my card. And this time, most of the time, I create borders. You see this border around? But this time, I'm going to go full on and cover the card with a real full-size piece of paper. And I'm just going to cover it with foam tape because that's my jam. And I feel like my fingers are twisted. I'm hoping you can see me. I think I need to come up closer to the center of my board here so you can see. I need to learn how to zoom in while I'm recording effortlessly, but I don't know how to do that yet. If you want to teach me, give me a call. Thanks, appreciate it. One of these days, it'll all be figured out. All right, so that's a lot of foam tape and a lot of garbage, but it's worth it to me. You do not have to use foam tape at all if you do not want to. And I like to stick that right down to the card base. And in the center, I have chosen to do a pink. So instead of the purple, I'm going to do a pink. So this is just showing you that you can get inspiration from someone else's card and tweak it and make it your own. I'm not doing a slimline for this one. I'm doing a regular A2 size card. I am changing up the colors a bit. I'm using a pattern instead of a solid cardstock like I did for the A2 card. But I think my favorite bird in this Feathered Friends set is the hummingbird. And now I don't care for birds in real life. I like these kind of birds, these fake birds that are made out of paper. Now, if you've got a bird, good on you. I just don't want any in my backyard either. They do their business everywhere. There we go. So that's placed right down in the center. And then I'm going to grab my squeaky chair real quick. And we're going to put this shaker part of this together. So here's my acetate. So this is very similar to what you would see on a YouTube video or our 101 shaker making card that we have on YouTube. I'm going to put a card together the same way, this card together the same way that you would see similar over there, but with a newer product. Okay, so I think I have everything that I need for I cut out the larger pieces with the darker gray, so this will sit on the shaker part here in a moment, and this will be the base of our bird bath. So I want this paper, which is a lighter gray polka dot paper, to be my backdrop. So I'm going to turn it over. This is how I like to do it. Everybody does this a little bit differently, but I like to add my first paper to the back like this. You can set it down like this if you'd like, and then I remove the center. I don't like to remove the center. For this one, it would probably be okay if I did, but I don't like to remove the center in case I bend this shape out of shape. If I keep it in it, it stays in shape, and I don't have to worry about it going out of shape. Okay, and this is also available in our store. I don't have the cover on it because I've removed it for today, but this is a powder tool that takes away static. So I have cornstarch. I couldn't remember. I had to sniff it. Cornstarch in here, and I just lightly put some, well, I don't even think anyone in. Hold on. So I lightly put some in there, so that way it'll minimize the static from the toppings. And these are all of our newest toppings. I put them in here until something new comes in, and then I'll put these color coordinated with something else. And we also have these little dishes that help with making a concoction, like a little ingredient for the inside of our shaker. And I think I would like to I chose to do a yellow bird, a pink bird, and a blue bird. So I'm going to try to stick with those colors. I think I might add a little bit of pink, a little bit of yellow, and a little bit of blue. Now I can do all three toppings like this and keep them all into the ball shape, what we call pops, or I could change this one out and have some crushed glass. And then maybe I'll change the pink pop out for an ombre or a pearl pop. And now I have 3 different styles of toppings. And if you've seen Ginger's card, she's the master of topping blending. It's pretty fun. So, okay, I want to make sure I have a little bit of blue. Now, I want to be careful because I don't have a whole lot of space in this one. And if you know me, I am an over-toppinger, an overfiller. Don't even know what the right word would be, but I overfill. Okay, I'm not going to do as much yellow because that seems to be a little bit bright in here. So I'm going to mix it up. I think that looks pretty. If I want a little more, I can add each one that I think I might want. Oh, I love that crushed glass. I should have just done that. That's so pretty. Get up all the pieces that fell out. Okay, I did overfill it. I can't help it. It's just what I do. All right, so I like to make sure I hang on to my piece nice and sturdy so that when I'm removing the paper that's around the sticky, it doesn't bounce and everything fly all over the place. So I'm going to just hold it with this. This works for me. I'm not sure how you would do it. And then because it's holding it down, and then I peel all of that paper up, and I have not bounced my thing where toppings have gone everywhere this time. I have done it, and I've done it on a video as well. So now I'm going to save this because it's only been used once. I can use that a million different times. And then I'm going to carefully line this up a little distance away, and then I'm going to commit to sticking it down. And then I'm just going to push on that a bit so it adheres to the adhesive that's on the foam. And then there you go. The next thing I'm going to do is these are on the website as well. There are little reverse tweezers. They're one of my most used items. I use them all the time. All right, and I'm going to put a thin layer of glue. I'm using a wet adhesive to adhere the acetate because that doesn't stick very well unless it is a wet adhesive. And just a thin line because we don't want any of that to smudge out and get on our acetate because it really will make a mess. Okay, and that seems to be sticking pretty well. Then I'm going to take, I think I want my entire bird bath to be raised up, and this is pretty thick. It's much thicker than my foam tape. So what I think I'm going to do is take the inside, and I'm going to cut a nice long skinny strip to use behind my bird bath, but behind the leg of my bird bath. And so it will be the same thickness as the top of the bath. You see how that works? And I'll save that and use that again another time. So now I have the same thickness of a bird bath, or the top of the bird bath. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, I'm going to stick this down in the center of my card. I think that's my center. Now I need some adhesive for this. I'm going to use some wet adhesive so it stays on my card and doesn't fall off. And then I'm going to just butt that right up to the top of the base of the bird bath. Now this does look a lot bigger on an A2 card. It is quite a large bird bath, but it's really adorable. And you can put it on an A2 card. It looks smaller. It's a great size though. And then there's a spout of water that you can put on here as well if you'd like to. I wasn't sure if I was going to use the grass, so I cut a piece, and I don't think I'm going to. Unless I cut it and in half and stick it on each side. I could do that. Watch this. We'll just cut her in half, and then we will use a tape runner to add some adhesive to one side of it. And I got to go upside down to make sure I do this straight. Whoops. And then I'm going to tuck that right in underneath. Oh, I guess I probably could have slid that right up underneath it without even having to cut it or trim it. Oh, no, I couldn't. No, I couldn't. All right, so there we go. It's underneath the bird bath, but this one's not straight. Let me fix this one. I want it straight with the bottom of the bird bath so you can't tell I cut it, and here we go. And now it goes all the way across my paper. And unless you look at it this way, you won't know that I cut it. So that's super cute. So then the next thing I did was I made 2 pre-made hummingbirds, but I wanted to make another one with you. This is pretty delicate, pretty tiny details. However, it's worth every effort that you make, I promise. So it has a belly. When you get this die, let me just grab it for us. The hummingbird comes all together with everything that you need. Sorry about the Band-Aids. Everything you need to make the hummingbird. So it has the belly, it has the darker colored wing, it has the feet, it has an eyeball, and it has its beak. So you can see all those little tiny details. One piece, which makes it much nicer because I would lose that eyeball. I would lose that eyeball. So I will take the belly and I'm going to flip it over. And I wanted white for the belly of all of them. So they all, whoops, too much adhesive. And then I'm going to apply that on its belly. Just going to line it right up with the detail. You cannot go wrong because it goes right along the belly of the bird. Now I'm going to add the little baby beak, which is super tiny, but a little tiny tip glue bottle and a little bit of glue. If you get too much, wipe it off. And I'm going to add this to the beak with my reverse tweezers, come in so handy here. Or the jewel picker upper works as well. That's super, like I'm going to use the jewel picker upper for the wing. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive here, and then I'm going to pick up the wing, and I'm going to apply that down right where, and push it right into place where it needs to go. So now I have a two different colored, a darker in the back colored hummingbird. And I also need its legs, so I will put that down on my mat, and you can't see it because my mat is gray, but I'm going to add a little tiny bit of adhesive here, wet adhesive of course, and then I'm going to touch or kiss my bird to the legs, and then that way my legs will be exactly where I want them to be. I think I'm going to have this one standing up, so I want my legs to be in position with the way the bird would be if it was to stand up. Okay. Then I don't usually mess with the eyeballs. This is marker I've had forever. I will go in and make my own little tiny black dot for an eye instead of trying to find those black dots that I've dropped and missed everywhere. I lose them. They cut beautifully, but then I just lose them. So I did not realize my pink was going to be the exact same color pink as the background. So I'm going to make sure that this pink one bounces off of the gray somehow. So we'll add a little bit of foam tape behind the yellow bird on his wings. That will be enough. I don't need to have too much. I'll add some on the blue bird. And then I will also add some on the pink bird just so that we can make sure that it pops up a little bit, pops up and off a little bit too. Let's take this one right about here. We'll put it on the bird bath itself, just so that it's dimensional and it pops up some. And then this is the bird that I wanted to stand, so we're going to stand him right on the edge of the bird bath. Oh, I think this pink one needs to flip a little bit. I have him flying. Okay, and then this yellow one, I will have swooping down a little bit more to get some water. You can put them in any relation that you want. You can put them in any direction. So I also wanted to show you again how I do, I've showed you this before, but I want to show you how I do the stamping. I do this maybe a little different than everybody else. I put a little bit of adhesive down on the back, and I line up my paper on a line so it can be straight. I also, this is a mini Misty. There's so many different contraptions out there for everyone. Sometimes the magnets the stamp is too small for the magnets to hold down the piece, so I use a little bit of adhesive behind it, and that will hold down my piece. And I'm going to have this one say, "Many thanks," and I am going to just ink it. I've already treated my stamps by rubbing them with an eraser or on my pant leg or just with my hand, just to get the manufacturing goop off of the stamps. They will stamp so much cleaner for you. So I just wanted to clean my stamp. I'll put it there for now. And then I want to lift this up so I can use this on our card. Turn that over, add a piece of foam tape, and then figure out where we may want to put this sentiment. We could have it here as though it's a banner, like the bird is holding a banner up in the sky. I could put it, I think I like that. I think we're going to go right there. And let's just see if that's straight. And then you can just add embellishments. And what I dug out tonight are those tiny trios. I had them stuck to white paper before, but I want to add some colors that are in my birds are. So I'm just trying to find blue, yellow, and pink, and I can decide from these on whether I want the matte, just the regular epoxy, or the glittery. And I think I'm just going to go with the center matte, the center just regular epoxy style. So I'm going to add a couple epoxy dots near each bird that color coordinate with the bird. I may change my mind on placement, so I don't want to stick them down too hard at this moment. And your jewel picker upper works on these really well too if you can catch them off of that slippery plastic. Let's see. And then I think I'll come over here with some pink. Let's see. I'm going to move that one a little bit. There. Now every bird has a little bit of embellishment near it. So that's our first card. I'm hoping that you enjoyed watching that. Let me just slide that out of the way. Super cute. You can reproduce this card if you'd like to spend an hour cutting all these little baby pieces out. I use cardstock for this entire card, but this is done with the paper that's included in the kit. So you can see a little bit of difference. I should have reversed the colors on this one. So that's one card I wanted to show you. And unfortunately, we all need a good sympathy card here and there. And tonight we're going to recreate this one. I just want to show you how simple this is, a couple of tips and tricks on what you can do for this card. This is going to be a horizontal card. I've got my card base already made and folded in half. This is going to be the swirly part. This again is from the backdrop die set, backdrop bundle number 2, and you can see it's swirly. See, that's the back side. I am going to add some foam tape to this for some dimension. Probably not going to use nearly as much as I did on the last one. So the outline dies for this kit are sold separately. They do not come with the kit. What comes with the kit is our stamp set, 4x6. It comes with the pattern paper pad, and I believe it comes with the solid paper pad, but I may be incorrect on that one. It may just be the pattern paper pad. I would have to look. Maybe Wendy can answer that for me while we're talking, while I'm talking. But it is the dies to cut everything, but not the outline dies. The paper pad and foam and acetate always comes with your kit. You can always buy additional foam and acetate though. We always sell that. Okay, tonight the solid paper pad is sold separately for this kit. So I wanted to put, I didn't feel as though one fence was big enough to go across, so I am combining the two fences right at one of the picket parts of the fence. And now it's too long, but I wanted it to be nice and clean and go straight across. And then I decided that I think I was going to cut them because there's a line from the fence right directly up the plank of the wood, and then it would be this one as well. There. And now you can't even tell that I trimmed this and then it's all one solid, it looks like one solid piece of fence. So I do have these little strips that I've had for 1,000 years. No idea where they come from, but they're really great for putting down, for things with skinny, where you need skinny pieces of foam tape. So I'm going to use these tonight and cheat a little bit. And I'm only going to go every other one because it's pretty tight fence. I don't think each piece needs to have it because I think it'll stand on its own without that. Now, if you do not like foam tape, you just tape yours right down or glue yours right down to the paper. You do not have to have this dimension. Now this dimension does add detail, depth, but it also adds in postage. So if you don't want to go to the post office to mail your cards, you may want to just apply them down flat. Okay, so I'm going to add or take all the backing off. It's always such tricky. There's always one that gives you a hard time. Okay, one more to go after this one. All right, and now I want to line it up on the bottom of my card. And because it has those wooden slats of the fence, it's so easy to line up and make sure you get it straight. I love that. Okay, and then as a last minute thought yesterday when I was trying to figure out what I was going to create for you today, I wanted to do some clouds in this dark, it seems like a kind of a dark, dingy kind of a day. I didn't want it to be too bright and happy, so I wanted to keep the color tones kind of low. So I wanted to add a little bit more detail without adding too much pizzazz, I guess, if you will. I didn't want this to be a bright, colorful card. I wanted it to be a little bit more neutral and serene. So I am going to put 2 clouds, and I grabbed these clouds from Foundation Set number 9, one of my favorites. It has a bunch of stuff that can be used on every card. The Foundation sets are really great, but number 9 is one of my favorites. Okay, so my entire card is done except for the cardinal. Now, I did cut this out with a thicker cardstock because I wanted it to be a sturdier piece. This one is made with the cardstock that is in the kit. It's a little thinner. I should have doubled it. I wanted it to really pop off the page. So I'm going to use cardstock on this one. I am going to use a tiny bit of foam tape behind my bird's wing so that I get a little bit of dimension. I love the cardinal. It's so pretty, so pretty. And we're always looking for something to say we're sorry, we're thinking of you, we hate what's happening in your life. And a cardinal is a great way to share your sympathy with your friends or your family. And this is just such a delicate card. So for me, I got to flip this bird upside down so I can put these pieces in place. So I got to really think about where this black piece of the face goes. And it goes on the nose like this. I'm hoping you can see this. I'm hoping it's up. It flipped on me. There we go. So I'm going to piece it right into the beak. It goes just like that. So I'm going to pick it up with my tweezers. Try to figure that out before you add adhesive to this one. This one's a little bit trickier because you do have the red bird, or the bird, whatever color you want to make it. And then this piece sits in there in only one direction. And it covers the entire beak as well. But you don't think, whoops, you don't think that, but oh my goodness, this tiny piece. It's a slippery little sucker. Oh, can you name that movie that talks about something being a slippery sucker? All right, let's get this back in place. All right, that's not it. Okay, now I've really messed this up. Hold on, folks. We need some more adhesive. We need my bird back. Pretty Woman. Who said it? Denise, did you say it first? I see somebody talking about it over there. It's Pretty Woman. It's one of my all-time favorite shows. And if you can see in my little dish over here, there's also a little red piece. I'm trying to flip it first. This little red piece, that goes back on as the beak. So, yeah. So you cover the red beak with the black, and then you add the red beak back on to the black. Does that make sense? All right, and that just goes on like so. Nope, not like that. Figure that out before you put it on as well. It twists the other way. There we go. I got it, but I don't think I have enough glue on it to stay. I wiped most of it off. There we go. So now, can you see the cardinal coming together? It really is coming together, I promise you. And then the little black legs, I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive, and I want him to sit onto the fence, so I want to make sure I position him where he's sitting upright with his legs underneath him. And then I'm going to add another piece of foam tape behind his body just for a little bit more depth. Again, you don't have to invest in this much foam tape if you don't want to. And then I'm just going to place him where he's going to sit on the edge of the fence. God, he's so pretty. He's so regal. It has such deep meaning. I just love the cardinal. And I already stamped this one before because I showed you how to stamp already. Now, I did not use any adhesive behind this one. I applied this right across to the fence. So I'm going to start, dropped it down a little bit. I used gray on the other card, but this one I wanted the title to blend in a little bit more, and I made it white. So you can see it's the exact same card, a little bit different color of cardinal, and a different color for the sentiment. Really, really beautiful. Easy to make. You could make many of these in one sitting so that you always have this on hand, especially when you really want to quickly send sympathy messages to people. It's a gorgeous sentiment, and it's a gorgeous idea. So remember, with this kit, you get 31 dies. It's going to have 4 different styles of shaker. Pardon me, 4 foam pieces for each shaker, and you get 3 different styles of shaker. You're going to get a feeder, a bird's nest. You're going to get a bird bath. Look at all these cards. I made all these cards, and I love them. I can't wait to send them out, except the sympathies. I don't want to send those out. So remember, if you're shopping with us tonight, we are flying into summer so quickly, and I'm telling you, it went from 0 to 90 degrees here in New England, and it's really crazy. But if you purchase $50 with us, you can choose a paper pad. If you spend $100 with us, you can choose the Summer Lovin' Kit, card kit. It's like a little card class. So remember, if you use either of these, or choose or select either of these options, you cannot use your crowns or rewards or coupons or anything else that you may have. So thank you so, so much for joining us tonight. Thanks for sitting through my creating of 2 cards. And I hope you'll go check out the website. Don't forget, we also have the new Hello Friend sentiment. It's a title die, and it's beautiful. Standalone, you can put this with some critters that we have. Be beautiful if you added a bird on here too. Also, don't forget, we have the new fancy bird shape shaker as well. So thanks for joining me tonight, guys. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for tagging along, and I will see you again soon.